When we are writing stories, one way to help the reader get to know your characters better is to use dialogue. How do we make sure that we are using the correct punctuation with dialogue? Let's look at some examples that will help you to improve your writing. The first way to write dialogue is to have the character who is speaking mentioned after the dialogue. Let's look at the first example. I really want to be a vet when I grow up, Jenny said to her teacher. Notice, I really want to be a vet when I grow up is what Jenny is speaking out loud. Jenny is the character who is speaking. We want to make sure that there are quotation marks that offset what is being said, and we have a comma where there would normally have been a period because this is a statement. At the end of the sentence, though, we still need to make sure we have the correct punctuation with a period. Another way that dialogue can be written is to start the sentence with the character's name that is speaking and then the quoted dialogue. Notice in this example that the comma occurs outside of the quotes, letting the reader know that what comes next in the quotes is what the character said. Also note the period at the end of the statement this time is inside the quotation marks. So let's look at example number 2. Mrs. Mask replied, "That would be a great career for you because I know how much you love animals." The comma here offsets what Mrs. Mask, who is the character, is saying. That would be a great career for you because I know how much you love animals is what she's speaking out loud. And we end it with the period because it's the end of her statement inside of the quotes this time. Finally, the character who is talking can be mentioned in the middle of the dialogue. Make sure to include commas and quotation marks around the words that are spoken out loud. I know that being a vet will require a lot of work, Jenny said, but I know that I can do it. So in this case, Jenny, again, the character, what she's saying or what she's doing is inside the middle of the statement. Here's her quote. I know that being a vet will require a lot of work, but I know that I can do it. This adds some different types of sentence fluency to your writing if you're getting stuck and it sounds really choppy. Here are a few more things to remember. When the character is asking a question or saying something that would end in an exclamation point, you include those inside the quotes instead of using a comma like we did in the previous examples. Did you find the missing book? Jenny asked. Watch out, shouted Jack. You'll notice in both of these examples that instead of a comma where we had in the previous examples, because this is a question, we put a question mark, and because this is an exciting statement, we make sure that we put an exclamation point. One last thing before you head off to write. Remember, every time a new person speaks, you must start a new paragraph on a new line. And remember to indent. Go on now and create some wonderful stories.